most Muslims memorize the short surahs in the end of the Quran. And in addition to that, they usually memorize one more verse that comes near the beginning of the Quran. Does anybody know what that verse is? Huh? Not the first verse. Outside of Fatiha, besides that. They recite the whole Baqarah? Huh? Ayatul Kursi. Alright. Ayatul Kursi, the verse of the throne, which is verse 255 of Surah Al-Baqarah, is one of the verses that many people memorize and their children memorize as well. And many people recite that before they go to bed at night because there's a lot of blessings and there's a lot of power in Ayatul Kursi. So I want to quickly reflect on one aspect which maybe people have been reciting Ayatul Kursi for a long time, but they never paid attention to the symmetry of the verse. And what the symmetry of the verse means is that it has a connection between the right side and the left side, or the beginning and the end. Like for example, a palindrome. A palindrome is something where you spell it forwards and backwards and it's the same thing. Like the word race car. If you spell race car forwards, if you spell it backwards, it's the exact same word. Rabbaka fakabbir. Your Lord, magnify him. Spelled forward the same way, spelled backwards the same way. So if you take Ayatul Kursi, and I'm just going to do this very briefly because we don't have much time. If you take Ayatul Kursi and you look at all the pauses that are there, you find, in the Quran when you read it, there's like a stop sign. There's like a jim, or there's a mim, waqf lazim, or there's a sad, lam, ya, which means wasl awla, it's better to continue here. Or waqf awla, qaf, lam, mim, means waqf awla, it's better to stop here. These are all places that are recommended to stop because the ayah is broken into different sections. Ayatul Kursi is broken into how many sections? 9. Correct, Jabir, 9. So there's 9 sections in Ayatul Kursi. And if you look at it, you'll find that the first sentence is connected to the 9th sentence. And the second sentence is connected to the 8th sentence. And the third sentence is connected to the 7th sentence, and so on and so forth. So let's just take a real quick look. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, Allahu la ilaha illa huwa al-hayyul qayyum. That Allah, there is no God besides Him, the living and the sustaining. And then you look at the last one. وَهُوَ الْعَلِيُّ الْعَظِيمُ. Says that He is the most high and He is the great. It's praising Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and His power and His might. Then you look at sentence number 2. لَا تَأْخُذُهُ سِنَةٌ وَلَا نَوْمٌ. Neither slumber nor sleep can seize Him or make Him, cause any problems for Him. You look at the second last verse of it, and it says, وَلَا يَؤُودُهُ حِفْظُهُمَا. And protecting these two, the heavens and the earth, does not tire Him out. It does not make Him exhausted or anything like that. You look at number 3. لَهُ مَا فِي السَّمَاوَاتِ وَمَا فِي الْأَرْضِ. To Allah belongs the heavens and the earth. And you look at the third last one, and it says, وَسِعَ كُرْسِيُّهُ السَّمَاوَاتِ وَالْأَرْضِ. His throne expands the heavens and the earth. Talking about heavens and the earth here, heavens and the earth here. You look at number 4. مَنْ ذَا الَّذِي يَشْفَعُ عِنْدَهُ إِلَّا بِإِذْنِهِ. Who can possibly intercede without His permission? And then you look at the fourth last section. وَلَا يُحِيطُونَ بِشَيْءٍ مِّنْ عِلْمِهِ إِلَّا بِمَا شَاءَ. And nothing can comprehend, anything of His knowledge except that He wills it. So it's no one can do this unless Allah wills. No one can do this except Allah wills. So we see a perfect symmetry on both sides of Ayatul Kursi. And then you look and you said there was 9 sections. 4 on this side and 4 on this side. There's one left. There's one in the middle. And if you look at the one that's in the middle, it's so beautiful. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, يَعْلَمُ مَا بَيْنَ أَيْدِيهِمْ وَمَا خَلْفَهُم. He knows what is preceding them and He knows what is after them. It is the perfect fit for the middle verse, showing that on one side Allah knows this, and on one side Allah knows that. In respect to time, but also in respect to space when it comes to the ayah itself. So there's a lot of beautiful secrets hidden in the Quran that sometimes we study, sometimes we miss, and we don't recognize. We've been maybe reading this for 20 years of our life, and we don't recognize. And subhanAllah, the more we study, the more we ponder, the more we reflect upon the Quran, the more we realize its beauty. So may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala help us to understand some of these things, help us to appreciate the beauty of the Quran. Ameen. Wa sallallahu ala Sayyidina Muhammad wa ala alihi wa sahbihi wa sallam. And we'll start the Quran class in 10 minutes at 7:30, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum.